While I was going through this dream, I'm not gonna lie, I was getting a little stumped because I'm like, this is deep. Like it feel biblical ish. Um, it feels like there is a major role that you about to play in something a lot bigger than what you think, right? And based on this dream and the messages I'm receiving from my spirit, from my guides, it's four particular type of gifts that is being communicated. Um, this is for specific people. You're gonna know if this fits you, okay? And again, this is based off of my dreams, my visions, my guides, my intuition. Um, so the first gift that I want to talk about, and I'm gonna relate each one to the parts of the dream that kind of elaborate that for me. Okay, so when you're coming out of the darkness, it's like you was fighting some major battles, and that first that first gift that you have is generational curse breaker. Okay, so it's something that like been really sitting on me, right? And I'm gonna just say it. So a, a big part of the message that I'm getting is that you have to remember that you are a living ancestor, okay? You are alive right now. And your journey is just not for you, okay? You came here with a mission and a plan, and it was your duty, okay, to follow that mission. And the first stance of line, some of the major battles that you're fighting off in lineages, in bloodlines, yours, and I'm talking about us as a collective, is sibling warfare, family conflict. I know this might be a little strange, but when I was doing like my reading and just settling in with the information that I was getting, I came across, and they said they wanted me to use this, mutual imprecations. Whatever that means to someone, I looked it up, and I got like that cable, Cain and Abel kind of, Cain and Abel, yeah, kind of energy. Like some of you may experience or at war with siblings and close family members, and you just learned to break the chains. You just did some type of big clearing in your family line, but that was one. Okay, then we have another group of people where a huge breakthrough that you made in your line was the spirit of oppression, right? And yeah, I had to take notes because I said, what the fuck is going on? Like, I talk about that. So anyhow, the spirit of oppression, always fighting, fighting the world, fighting others, something always in your way. It's like that spiritual warfare. You have did something within your lineage with breaking or defeating. I don't know. I don't want to say defeating, but it's just like Yeah, I mean, you defeated it. Like, because, and I think I don't want to say that because sometimes just because you got over something, it doesn't mean that it may be over. The universe has a way of testing us or whatever. So that's going to lead into my next point. So I'm glad I said, but that's about to lead into my next point. So fighting that spirit of oppression within your lineage, you know, making things easier, you know, having more love, more respect for each other, stuff like that. Okay, so then the last one that I have, and I know it could be many more, but my guys is just showing me these big blocks that a lot of you may be facing, that is pushing you through, releasing some type of blockage in your family lineage. That mean you were chosen for your line. I mean, that's what that, you know, you break it down to that. You were chosen for your line to clear some stuff up, and you have done it, or you're in the process of doing it. And that heaviness, that's why you have the coming out of the backyard of your family childhood house, right? And as you go to the fourth or go to the front, you get lighter and lighter. The sky, it gets lighter and lighter, because you have broke through some major trauma bonds, or I'm just not okay. So some trauma bonds. It's some trauma bonds there as well, that may have been a big issue in your immediate line or whatever. So hell yeah, you doing it. Like, you doing your thing, you know. So that's one of the first big sign. Now leading into the second one, where I was saying, like, you were chosen to do these things, and to remember that you're a living ancestor. The second gift is calling forth the next generation of seers, the next generation of generational curse breakers in your line, the ones that's going to help maintain and carry those traditions and be able to teach the other ones. And let me just pause for a second, because it has been so heavy, like the last maybe month or two, where I'm just getting really heavy energy about the next generation, particularly the kids after 2019. I had made a video about you being called to raise your grandchildren, and it's not just your grandchildren. It's like wherever you are at in your life right now, whoever you are, however old you are, if it's a child, you know, that you're involved with, that was born after 2019, that you have some influence in, and you are on your spiritual path, and you have, you know, been healing and working and taking care of yourself, and getting out of the negative cycles and patterns, and just reestablishing the foundation of your life, and learning about, you know, different aspects of the world and nature, and just herbs and everything that you can, you know, experience when you start walking a spiritual path, you know, when you have a spiritual awakening and go through those things. So this knowledge isn't just for you. It's something very important about that 2019 on generation. They're like the first steps to like the evolution of human beings. They're, you know, I don't want to jump too far, but like they gonna be the ones that where telepathy will be becoming mainstream in they era. You know, they're going to be on a whole nother level, and they're going to need us who have, experience. Like a lot of us, we haven't, we may be the first person in our family that took non-traditional route to spirituality, or your religion, or whatever you practice. It may be very different than your family's, right? And so a lot of the things that you had to learn on this path, you had to do it alone. You felt people, or they thought you was crazy, and it wasn't nobody that could really understand where you were coming from. So it's been a lonely path, right? So it's like looking forward, our descendants are going to need a very strong foundation of spiritual grounding. And just like you had to learn to protect your energy, how you had to learn how to observe your thoughts and breathe, we had to really be installing this into this generation. Because if you think you had some spiritual warfare, I mean, like, we just need to prepare them for what's to come, So that's just my intuitive feel on that. Okay. So that second part, again, calling forth and training and developing the children in your line, these little bitty kids, really zoning in on them and installing these ways in them. So yeah, that's your second gift. So the third gift that I want to talk about is you can see into the spirit realm. Okay. So once you got to the front of the house, you looked up and you could see lights in the sky, and you seen these entities. It's showing me, and I'm getting like, once you cleared, or once you're done clearing, because you're either right there, or you literally just walked out of it. No matter what the outcome was, you at peace with it. That's what I'm hearing. You got like a big comfort. Just is nothing held on your end. Like, you feel good about doing what's best for you, and whatever decision you made or whatever happened in your situation, it broke open a dam. Okay, it knocked something out the park, and that energy is now hitting you like whoosh. Like, it's like you called all your power back, right? Like, you called all your power back, and not just from what happened, years ago, or when you was a kid. You called all your shit back from past lives from ancient times. You called back all your power, right? You called back all your power, and now you like, shit, you can see everything. Like, you can see shit that is blowing your mind, because now a space has opened, a channel has opened, a channel has opened, a channel has opened, right? So now you're privy to a lot more supernatural, angelic, interdimensional, spiritual, negative energies. You're a lot more prone to being witness, to being able to see into these things. Okay. So that is the third kind, being able to see into the spirit world, right? So our fourth gift, right? And it's something kind of similar to number 3, but in a different way, because I don't always necessarily think the two intertwine. They can, but not all the time. So in this case, you have the power of discernment, right? And is levels to this shit, right? Like, you got regular discernment, you have, worldly discernment, book smart, street smart, stuff. But then there's like spiritual discernment, right? And in this case, when you look to the left, you seen a raccoon and you yelled out to it, "What are you doing? Are you trying to break into my house?" Right? This is another reference to our generation's mind, right? Because it was on the roof, and on the roof, in this particular house, your childhood house, there's 2 windows at the upstairs, right? And they remind me of eyes. In one eye, it is I guess I'll say like a portal of a source. Because for me, a house represent your subconscious mind, your subconscious, your higher self, like the dream world. Astral world is a portal of a sorts, right? And it can mean different things for different people in different contexts, depending on what's going on in a dream. So for minds, these windows look like eyes, and the window on the left was like the portal for spirits in your family, or that live there, or whatever, been on that land, or however you want to put it. And the second window was directly into your family and into the kids' room. That's what I was like, to the kids' room. So it's like I yelled out, "What are you doing? You trying to steal from me?" Something like that. And as soon as I noticed it, it started falling off the roof. You get what I'm saying? So when it starts falling off the roof, number 1, that is your spiritual power of discernment. When you sense a negative entity or a negative presence, all you got to do is look at it and it start falling. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like, all you have to do is acknowledge that it is there, and it'll start morphing and losing its power. You get what I'm saying? Soon as you notice it, it will lose its power. All right? That's the level of power of discernment that you have attained, or that you're attaining. Okay? So as this thing was falling, it was morphing, and it was changing into different faces, and at one point it looked like you. Okay? What did that tell you? Your level of power, or your level of discernment, is increasing to the point where you will be able to see the different transitions in people. Oh, like, you will be able to see if it's human, if it's a negative entity, if they got mental problems, if, you know what I'm saying, if it's some type of attachment to them, and you will be able to see that simultaneously according to where that person is at that moment, if that makes sense. Ooh, damn. You will be able to see it. What is it? I don't want to say that. You will be able to see what is influencing people, and all you will have to do, your energy Your power of discernment, that clearing that came in, gave it hit your light, baby. It hit your light. It hit your light. So these are some things. Before I even, so boom, because I didn't even finish. So once it failed, you zoned in. That go back to your level of perception, right? Your level of perception, your discernment. All you had to do is zone in. Like as soon as you get that feeling, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it in your body, and it may stop you in your tracks when you're dealing with darker forces and energies and shape shifting, spirits, stuff like that. In people, this is really like in people. Okay, that's another thing I want you to remember is, you had to protect yourself, but remember, a lot of people are they're completely unconscious that it's happening sometime, and your discernment is going to be able to help you call that out behind all of those masks. You feel me? So your power of discernment is increasing by tenfold. And these are the four powers of the witness. This is why you were able to see what was happening, because you just broke through something. You broke through something. You felt it. You felt it. You just woke up and you felt a quiet power in you, a quiet confidence in you. You completely detached from anything that does not literally feel good or aligned with you, no matter how it bothers or who it affects to some degree. Of course, you do what is appropriate for you. But what I'm saying is that you're finally taking the steering wheel and fully letting yourself align to where spirit needs you to be. Okay? And I want you to kind of just think about those gifts. Some of them may apply to you, some may not. But it's a reason why this is happening this time. It's a whole group of you. It's not just, individual. No, it's a whole collective of you. You notice an extreme uptick in spiritual warfare, crazy nuisances back to back to back to back to back to back. Like you getting attacked left and right. Right? It's because you just did something. You just achieved something big. Stay tuned. The following or the last part, I'm gonna give a little bit more background on these entities, or just a little bit more information from my. Stick with me. Got one more part to go, and we're gonna finish up the dream. We'll be talking about the entities and some interesting data. Thank you.